Make a cup of tea. Kettle boiled. I think the plan is to ditch Kim. Go get the boots now that we're done with that. Wait till the next day. We don't have any other timed things, do we? Pick up the dice. And tomorrow speak to Alice about the armor, and that's it. So I think the plan is ditch Kim, try and get the armor ourselves. So let's get rid of Kim. Then we'll go back to the bear, see if we can get those boots for ourselves. That way in the morning too we can tell them to come collect the body. And maybe Kim will be none the wiser. Also in the morning we can tell the lady at the bookstore what we've learnt. So we do actually have some things we can do tomorrow. Actually, we're staying... I'm not paying $20 for another room. We're going to stay in the shack. Where's the shack?
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Alright. We're not going to the shack. Well, we are going to the shack.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
It's free, that's good enough. I could live here.
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, a congregation gathers to a soup kitchen in a shelter for the homeless. An old woman gives out knitted scarves for free.
Well, we could do with a knitted scarf.
This could have been you. This could still be you. A down-on-his-luck nobody, trying to survive.
Thank you, Strange Sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
Okay. Where?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash
Hand-eye
basin.
coordination? I don't know, man.
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew.
Well, maybe if we can... She said look under the floorboards, but I can't. Maybe if I can get some hand-eye coordination stuff, but I don't think we do. I'm not losing any hand-eye coordination from stuff I'm wearing now. Like rolling on a 60% is just not quite high enough for me. No, I don't think so. Look under the floorboards could mean in somewhere else as well. Head on up to the bear. I wonder if we can use what's-his-face's carve dispatch radio to get her to pick up the body while he's asleep.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge.
Pull on the left boot.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two.
Do it again.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two.
And again.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot.
How many centimeter or
but
two
you're
do you
able
need
to
to
get
pull
the
on
boot to move a centimeter or two. It feels like the leg
I don't
is
think
going
it's
to
moving
come
more
off
than
along
one.
with the boot. It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening.
Adjust his seating position first.
He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles, with hoarfrost covering his milky eyes.
Try to twist the boots off one by one.
This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
Take stock of the damage.
Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Oh, we could wash the jacket as well. Okay. Let me have a look at the boot. Oh, look, they're gross.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not exactly pleasant to look at right now, much less smell. Hopefully, you will know who they belonged to very soon.
Will I ever be able to wear them?
The size seems about right. Once you get the foul-smelling flesh gunk out.
Isn't there a saying about walking in another man's shoes?
You've seen too much to be that naive. Even if you don't remember it, you'll never know what it was like to be him.
Put them away. Alright, boots achieved without Kim. Okay, so we use Kim's car key to we use Kim's car to call dispatch to come and collect the body. Where's Kim's car? Wait. Kim, where's the car? Someone stole Kim's car.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand.
Serve dead man rotting foot flesh to the people that killed him.
Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar.
Check out the cookware.
A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire city, and also to boil a putrid pair of death boots.
Check out the cleaning supplies.
There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove.
This is good.
There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge. It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now.
Okay, pour dish soap and the vinegar.
The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar waft up from the pot. All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them.
Add water in the boots to the pot. Bring it to a nice boil.
The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil.
Wait.
Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface.
Wait some more.
The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too, just like beef stew.
No. Just wait a little more.
That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove.
Dump the stock and flesh stew and examine your new
A
boots.
pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
Master Chef out. Boots give 2 authority. -1 composure because shoes are too big to fill. We get 1 perception with ours though. We've got the boots though, that was the important thing.
You see a heavy steel door.
I wonder if we have any authority rolls. Do we have any authority rolls? Andre has a logic one. There's a perception roll on that, man. I've got really high perception now.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
That's composure. Yeah. I was really hoping we could wash that jacket in there as well. That's a shame. Get the boots, I love it. Prove authority. I don't think our boots are going to help that. Oh, maybe a little bit. Okay. So we'll have a sleep and we'll speak to dude in the morning. Tell him to come get the body. He doesn't have to know about our boots. I think we just run around with a bag of bottles and cans and a crowbar.
It's getting cold. This late.
Yeah, time to sleep.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with... The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Go to sleep.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time. The smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
Well, what is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
And the colours, the voices.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes. Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Making progress. Measured, steady progress.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Like 8 hours the night before?
Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Wake up, Harry.
Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you for a few days now.
What is it?
It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Wait, other things are going pretty well.
Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But who's focusing on the big questions?
I mean, Measurehead, the Dice Girl. I assume most qualified, highly credentialed people were taking care of that stuff.
But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More importantly, how do you know they aren't waiting for your participation?
What am I supposed to do?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
What exactly is la responsabilité?
The most awesome, terrible thing.
Sounds awesome and terrible.
It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios.
I thought I was assigning responsibility for the murder.
Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly.
Right.
La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues. The Human Welfare Index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy.
Give it to me. I'll accept responsibility.
Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by legitimate authority. Like a committee.
Do we have time for all of this?
There's always time to follow best practices. Once someone's decided to cut corners for the sake of expediency, who knows what else they're capable of?
That's right. And who should sit on this committee?
Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinez.
So Kim and me.
Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start.
Wait, what?
Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
I'm prepared to take on this awesome burden.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Take on la responsability. Form a committee of moralists to assign responsibility. Kim might know where to start. Don't shave.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
That's close, though. Maybe that'll help him with his the face issue. Hey, Kim. I gotta get my dice. Good morning. First things first, get to the car, get them to come pick up the body. We'll get our dice. Speak to Kim about this committee thing. Can I help you?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches, flow bears, or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Hey, do you know anything about the murder that took place here?
Murder?
Man was hanged in the back of the whirling in rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Thank you.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied
that
by
money and
thought
that
that it
experience.
begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work.
I know you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
Well, there isn't.
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
No, it's not. The man is dead. We need answers.
So what do you think we know?
Do you know what happened to the victim's armor?
Nope. But Cindy does.
Don't tell him that. Skulls don't tattle, man. Cindy wouldn't.
You mean Cindy the Skull?
No. A different Cindy. From out of town. She doesn't know shit about armored gloves, that's for sure.
He did mean Cindy the Skull.
Now, we're gonna go see Cindy about these gloves.
All right, we have a lead on the gloves.
Where are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
Let's not get into that.
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertnay.
Yeah.
Besmatine, or the Besmati,
Give me
the
that.
Immortals, are West
Dude, this is
Rovisholian
the
crime
Best
syndicates.
cabinet one.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verb? I'd say nothing.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
To the jackets.
What about them?
Why does yours have that sweater on?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
Interesting.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Alright, why do you have F the world written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
That's a terrible metaphor.
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Okay.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point.
I don't know about that, man.
Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Definitely a coincidence.
Your lack of imagination is baffling, but you do make up for it with, yes, questions.
No.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling
Okay.
again later. Is that...
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Fellatio, and you're listening to Street Freaks.
a flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio.
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right?
Speed Freaks FM, huh?
Oh, is that what it was called?
He's trying hard to act surprised.
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed
Oh,
Freaks
you don't want to
FM.
get this? No problem.
Nothing to get into, really. But sure, let's focus on the important things.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone?
No, I'm good.
57's...
In the cabin, you see a set.
Kim, I need to tell him we don't want the body anymore.
Yes?
We need to talk about responsibility.
I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
What do you mean?
If you ask me, it's high time for you to put the bottle away. Sober up, get back to basics. That would be my advice.
No, I mean like low responsibility. You know, the kind that gets assigned.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
For the murder.
But isn't that our job?
No, it's way more nuanced than that. It's like this whole historical socioeconomic dimension.
Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility.
How did you know?
Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees.
Ah.
In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villedron, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion. Now, was there anything else?
No. Although we should get the body to get moved, but that doesn't seem to be an option now. Okay, I'm gonna get my dice though. That's of high priority, obviously. If we're gonna... Check twice to see whether you're done with all the copshot tasks. After you send the body away, you can't take it back. Alright, Kim, we need to send the body away, but... So one of the issues is he's gonna see there's no brutes on it. And we'll be like... where's my torch? Hey.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I came to pick up my die.
Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die. 1 universal die for Wiro Untethered.
Look at it.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw.
I'm listening.
No. I think we're done. Wait, more about the
I'm
intercom?
pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. I'm listening. Good.
We're done. Thank you. No, look at the map tab in general to see what white checks have opened. I don't know. It's something we can roll our die on. It's hard to say because it feels like that mechanic's not working properly. Let's grab a hand-eye coordination. Maybe we can shave later. Alright, I want to go see Plaisance. And tell her about this building. We'll go out there. We'll go in through the back. That should close off that little quest.
What have you found?
I took the
and
entity you
also,
told me about.
do buy the books.
Her name is Neha, and
there
she's a
may
novelty
be
dice maker.
teachings in them. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She's not a sorceress or Summerlish Endy. She's a businesswoman like you.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
The source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in the arts darker than taxidermy and brought void spirits down upon his place. Okay, she says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies.
Too many inconsistencies? What kind of talk is that?
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
As I said, she's a novelty dice maker. Her business has been up and running for a long time now.
Yes, because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse. I see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. Thank you for nothing. Please do buy some books or be on your way.
Wow.
There was never any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone into her own mind.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Yeah, farewell for now, book peddler. It's a shame you're crazy. Welcome back, Bonfire. How goes it? I'm going to speak to Cindy the Skull. What did I miss? Lots. Actually, not really that much. Huh. Yeah, a lot of time passes and you talk to a lot of people and don't really do that much in the game. We did get a perk on this list of things. In here. This Wompty Dompty Dom Center. Anytime our encyclopedia, which works directly with the build we've got, anytime that chimes in, we get a passive 10 experience. It's 100 experience to gain a level. So every time that ticks in 10 times, we just get a level. Or we get $2 as well every time. So one level will also give us $20, which means we can put more points in other stuff. So that's been really handy. So of course we use that to boost up the thing that triggers it so that it'll trigger more often. Oh, that's why Cindy's got the skull going, yeah.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Yeah, do you have any idea what happened to the hangman's armor? We also got the hangman's boot armor. Kim doesn't know we took it off his feet, though.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art for the body?
Alright, Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Look cute as hell.
Could that girl have been Little Lily?
I know.
It's not a bad place to start.
Little Lily.
Could have been her. Small kid with giant white armored hands. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
There weren't any other small girls in the village.
Later, Cindy. Yeah, free levels that, eh? What else happened? I got super excited for Mass Effect coming out in like 10 days. I keep looking at all the games that pique my interest, and there's a lot of games that, not that I'm happy to miss them, but I just won't play them because I've got other games, and I'm like, that's okay. But there's the list of games that I really, really, really don't want to miss that are coming out is getting a bit dauntingly large. Dude, the Ninja Gaiden trilogy remake? Yeah. What else have we got? Like this. And Mass Effect Biomutant later this month. Solasta Crown of the Crown of the Magister leaves early access with a full campaign. Hi, Lily.
Hello, mister.
I heard there was a girl here who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
And where are they now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
We're going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Wait, but I want them.
Oh.
She doesn't understand.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle.
Okay.
It's not very good.
Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yeah, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
All right, Lily.
Bye.
Bye.
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid, leaning against the wall.
Try to sneak up on the phasmid.
It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing.
Of course it's phasmid. It's way too big.
Don't be too hard on yourself. You couldn't have known that for sure. And besides, finding this phasmid is your special destiny. You can feel it.
Give the dream of discovering the Insulindian phasmid a rest for now. For now. Legit controllers are more responsive than knockoff ones. Sounds reasonable.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Broken.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
Reach in and pull out the shiny object.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Yep, 2 interfacing. Oh, that's more than 1 interfacing.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with 1 punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably.
Oh, I wonder if Man Without Hair had these to fight
Your movements
Measurehead.
cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
Tiny little clicks. I'll be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
Yeah, I want the full suit.
It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should analyze the armor. Figure out its vulnerabilities. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Oh, it's funny. Right. I'm gonna have to put these on just to see what happens. Speak to Kim. Kim, look at my shoes.
Yes?
Are we going to talk to the boots I'm wearing?
Okay, let's talk about it. You stole the boots.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations. That must have taken an enormous concerted effort, considerable ingenuity and timing. Now, I'm going to report you and you're going to go to jail.
You are?
It was a joke, sadly.
Oh.
There's nothing I can do about your delinquency. What's done is done. Let's get back to police work.
Okay. Woo! Now, what do we need for the roll-off against, what's his name, Gary or something? Composure. We don't have a lot of composure. I don't know if I want to take it just for the roll against Gary. It's in Motoritrics though. Why not? Let's see if we have any composure points. I don't think we've got any minus composures, or I don't think we have a minus and a plus, so I need to find a plus composure shirt or something. Plus composure anything. Okay, boots are plus composure. Hey, Man Without Hair. Yeah, things are going well. Hey, look, we got 2+ interfacing, and when we put these on, it said we could punch anyone out. You get drama and electro thingy from it. And when we put the gloves on, we heard this clinking noise, just like what Gary had. I think Gary's wearing the other bit of armor beneath this. And then all we need to do is find the one that Kuno kicked into the sea. And we couldn't help ourselves. We had to show Kim. We got the boots off the dead body. And then use the giant cooking pot in the kitchen of the hostel to clean them. If you wait long enough, it smells like a beef stew.
always a pleasure to see officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature? Something worn underneath it.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
Yeah, well, I take it.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
She's not even here.
I took the hangman's cuirass. I didn't mean to.
God damn it, Gary.
He's not even here either. What's going on? Game? Hello, game. They've left. They've gone back home.
I know.
Shame on you. Give the cuirass to the officer at once. Gary didn't mean to interfere with your investigation, officers. He's just thick-headed and poor as dirt. But he's always helped us, given us a place to stay. And he's followed Morel into God knows what jungles.
Why did you really put the clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning, no one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Why'd you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
He's a scaredy cat.
Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
All right.
This is all he knows.
Give me the armor.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
We done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
All right. Teehee. We lose an empathy, but we get a pain threshold and a volition. We lose a visual calculus, but like it's... Oh, it goes on a shirt. We lose a logic. Hey, we have extra morale now, so we could take off the... We could take off that and put this tie back and get... what's that? Oh, that's Inland Empire and Volition. Huh. We may as well keep that then. Unless this tie... That's... No, it's +1 shivers. I don't really want that. Dude, look at us. We can just walk around like this. No jacket, just... It's funny for the armor, like there's no legging bits. You get up to the knees, and then from the nuts up, no, from the waist up, arms and a helmet, but no legs and nuts. Kim, I'm wearing the armor.
Yes?
Oh, he doesn't care. Okay, we just need to get the helmet now. I'm totally fine missing a, like we've gone Superstar or Cop. Look at this, we're Robocop, man. So have you taken, you must have taken a lot of volition for something else. Just keeps your own morale up. This is cool. It's our authority's +2. Are we gonna go see Smoking Guy? He might not be there though. Actually, I want to know where Kuno chucked that, put that helmet. Kuno, where'd you kick the helmet? We gotta find out how we get up to that girl. Kuno, what do you think of my armor, Kuno?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Want to discuss body with you again,
Fuck
Kuno?
about it.
Nah.
Your test. Get lost. Kuno doesn't.
And he's not going to tell me where that helmet is.
What do you see?
We don't get to have that roll. Alright, so we may as well get Kim to send the body off now that he knows that we have the boots. Super cop.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Bag him and take him
It's
away, Kim.
guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Perception. Can we get... How much more perception can we boost? Alright, if we go for full perception gear... May as well roll it before we send the body off. That's a -1 to perception, so we take those off.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold,
Roll
light
double
blue and
ones.
silvery in the light of the fridge. You still haven't...
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
How do we roll double ones, man? Oh, that's...
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's
I'd have to
guarding
level
over the
up.
freezing
How
corpse
close are we to
hidden
level up?
inside its belly.
Nowhere near close. Ah, okay, so we could find out something from Joyce. We just need to show her our badge. Now that we have our badge, we can do that. Alright, so we can come back and try that roll one more time and hopefully not roll a double one. Put our visual calculus drama, or what glasses do we want on? I want the encyclopedia hits for levels. I want my badass boots for badass. So we'll see what Joyce has to say, and if we can get that moving. If we do get something out of her, it might give us a lead. Otherwise... we might just have to send the body on its way. Hey, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Hey, do you know something about these? How about my missing badge?
I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol.
Oh, you never guess. I found my badge.
Did you? Wonderful.
Quickly, methodically, like an electric printing machine, she's memorizing your badge number.
It is a relief to see a W freighter here. The situation is precarious, to say the least. It needs a quick solution, or we will have a bloodbath on our hands.
How are the lynching and the strike connected?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Momentary lapse of faith, eh?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
Sunday prior to that, I guess.
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Ah, they're just gonna... Bye, Hardy Boys, then, I guess.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
You made a mess here. Boy, oh boy, this is not good.
It's not good. No.
My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
There you go.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
I can't see that. Well, it's a pretty bleak scenario describing.
Many bleak scenarios have already come true.
That's true.
Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
You said contain?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
What can you tell me about the Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Yeah, we knew that as well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Got anything else on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Okay.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Did you contact the company? Tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Okay, you said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
If he was here, maybe Kuno kicked the helmet off here. Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal.
What did
It's
the
what they
teenagers by the
believe.
canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was the woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Oh, tell me about the others first, then.
One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50.
40
It's
or
hard
50.
to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Alright. Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Don't roll double
One
again.
is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Yeah. One must be the goon in the ill-fitting work clothes by the harbour gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time? Wait, where?
They've gone to ground, as it were. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens.
Yeah, okay.
That's wise.
How much
Until
time do
the
we have?
executions start. Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Oh,
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
that's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with,
Now
please
can you tell me
ask.
about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence, she wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet and observe.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky.
Close. Port cities. This is an Oranese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture.
Yeah, probably
This
not.
man was their friend. and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Yeah.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
What's the use of the map, though?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
Maybe it's a record of his military career.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
That's all for the tattoos. Thanks for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nope. Alright, what do we need for that body? Perception. Man, we've got a lot of perception too. Ask another. We don't have another. Okay. Let's put our perception gear on. Have a look at that body again. Thank you, Joyce. I have one last look at the body. And we'll send it off on its way. Yeah, perception 10. We're perceiving everything. I really would have preferred to put it into hand-eye coordination and have a crack at that shave, but... Then we'll save it outside of Kim's car so that next time we know we have to use the dispatch radio. But I'll forget.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hid. You touched the dead man's body.
It'll come to you sooner or later.
What did we roll?
At least he's safe here until then.
We rolled a critical fail for the second time in a row on the same roll. That's harsh. Take him away, Kim.
If you think so, I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I'll take it from there. Continue working here. The locals, the case, or attend to your own business. I will meet you downstairs in the Whirling in Rags tomorrow morning, 7:30 sharp.
Oh, wait, no, I don't want to... No, man, I don't want you gone for a day. Ugh. Oh, we should have done it. We need to do that at the end of the day, then. Oh, man. Well, we're just going to have a shitty day. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. We'll just have a day without Kim, I guess. Kind of sucks, actually. Plus, we can't use his radio for the next few leaves. So I don't know how we're going to do the rest of the stuff. Let's put us in a real, real weird position. Oh well.